Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and today we're going to try and get some actual rating for this challenge because I'm kind of tired of breaking a key after a key after a key. Clearly, I need to chill a bit. Week 1 and 2, 10s are not the easiest things to do, apparently. Steve, Steve, what's going on? Why are you just sitting there? Well, you told me to move 2, and now I've moved 2, but now I can't keep going because the game just get over here, dumbass. What the hell do you mean, go to? Anyway, sorry. We're rocking a new transmog. Of course, this is very important, and I'm sure this is why you tune into these videos, is to see me switch to new transmogs as I get bored of the old one. This is from the pre-order for midnight, so pretty cool. I thought it goes perfectly with this. I may as well use it because I really like this mount. It is absolutely gorgeous. But yes, friends, I do believe it is time for me to just sit there and grind out some keys. We're gonna try and do some 9s just to get all the 9s done, and then when I have all the 9s done, maybe then I have an easier time getting into 10s. Right now, applying to 10s feels like a really stupid idea because I have 2 untimed 10s, only 1 9 timed, and just a few 8s and stuff. My rating's not looking too hot. Just in general, I feel like I don't see a reason why people would want to invite me. So I'm gonna head over to Tazavesh because we have a 9 Streets of Wonder, which I'm going to lie about and say that it's an 8. So let's go quickly host a group. +8 Streets of Wonder, boom, right there. The reason I'm lying and saying that it's an 8 is because honestly, people just don't want to apply to 9s. They like 8s because it's like, oh yeah, you get the item level upgrade, you're getting the gilded crests, it's not a 10, so it's not really hard, blah 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 blah. So yeah, here we are, and we've already got people applying, which is nice. But friends, since I'm going to be going through a lot of dungeons this video, and hopefully ending it with something interesting. Shut up, Illidan. God damn, he loves interrupting me while I speak. If you didn't know, that's where my rare add-on that actually tells me that there's a mount that I could get from that rare, so that's something. Anyway, since I'm going through a bunch of dungeons, I'm just going to show you some highlights or something. I don't know how I'm going to edit it, but we're going to rapidly go through everything. And then for the last dungeon I do for today in my recording session, I'm just going to fully commentate it and leave it at that. So yeah, let's speedrun this shit.
4, 3, 2. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alrighty, so we had a 9 streets, we bricked that, didn't even complete it, so we had an 8 streets, did that very nicely, got a 2-star on it, so we're in a 10 Priory, and 10 Priory is my last 6 key, the rest are 8 or 9 or bricked 10, so I figured this is a good enough key. Doing this might be nice, especially if we time it. That'll be sick. So with everyone ready, we're going to start the pull timer here. We can activate our Fell Domination near the end of the pull timer right about now. And then we're going to activate when it strikes 0 in case somebody wants to use something. The mage did use the shield. We can now summon in our Fell Guard and get started. I am curious to see what the tank will be doing, what kind of pull we've got going at the start here. We've got limited aggro, so we're going to just, you know, chill a little bit. It looks like a night pull, no mini boss pull. Okay, well, let's get started with it. We've got just about everything ready. So, well, just about, we have everything ready. So we're going to go ahead and use it. We have the... Okay, I just got shot, pot shot, and impaled at the same time, so I should have just used the defensive there. Well, good thing we pre-used Fell Domination so we could use it again here and get back in there. Cool, I used everything except for Tyrant, so I guess when I get back, I can use Tyrant, maybe, potentially. Hold on. We're going to stun everything to remove these damage reductions, and yeah, well, my damage overall is going to be very interesting, but it does look like we absolutely obliterated mobs here, in the sense of the Prio mob was just gone. I used my Tyrant here to extend my Charhound to try and sync those up at least a little bit somehow. Didn't have many imps. Bit of a shit show for me, I'm not gonna lie. But we're going to try and get rid of some of these defends. Hopefully not grief our group in the process by moving these away. I think the real grief here is not pulling Suleiman in the first pull, but the tank seems to be, well, I don't know what they seem to be. They just didn't pull Suleiman, and that's a choice. That's all up to them. I'm going to ping Suleiman so he knows he's there. We should probably pull Suleiman sooner rather than later. Tank is kind of letting all the mobs hit him in the back while he tries to run over to Suleiman. Now the mobs are a little bit spread, not a big deal. Not a big deal. We have Suleiman targeted now finally, and we're going to get started. We're not going to get a good Tyrant here because our Charhound is going to expire right before Tyrant comes off cooldown. We're going to use a self-heal as best we can. The damage here is kind of obnoxious. I'm not going to lie to you. This has been pretty freaking rough. Let's build up imps. Gotta build up imps. Kick some of these heals. Knockups are going in the middle. More imps now. Ooh, so much damage. Goodness gracious. Mike goes out. I don't know how I'm going to live this. Ooh, there's just a lot of casts going off, it feels like. I think the casts are getting us. Yeah. Fireball, Holy Smite, combo, plus Suleiman AoE. We should have pulled Suleiman with the first group, not with this group, but hey, you know, I think our mage is getting ready to rage quit. We're gonna have to just chill here and wait for this knight to move away. There's always something, there's always something, but key's not bricked yet. Let's give this our best shot. I'm willing to keep going if the group's willing to keep going. It's not like I have anything better to do, but if I have another bricked key, I'm literally just going to stop playing this character. I'm going to give up. It's cursed. I did normal raid, got 0 loot from it, literally not a single thing. So I just there is a curse on it. Tank is waiting for what's her face. He doesn't know which side she's coming from. I'm going to ping danger here so the tank notices it, and he seems to want to pull more stuff here. Okay, that's a choice. Definitely one of the choices of all time. See if we can get a few more imps out, and then we're going to send out the tyrant. It's going to extend everything. It should be okay here. We didn't have Mike ready for this, obviously, but it's all right. Even without Mike, we'll have to just make do. I refuse to use death coil here on these guys because I have a very strong feeling that death coiling them will send them into this night pull. And if that night pull gets pulled, I don't know about this key anymore, to be honest with you. Very inefficient sort of routing. We're going to move away because we're far away. We don't have to use burning rush or anything. And we're going to avoid her putting up any kind of dot on anyone, which is very good. The sharpshooter goes over here, and that is chainmail dead. A tank wants to go this side because it's season 2 still, I guess. I don't know. And we have pulled. Our feign death goes in. Okay, the hunter pulled, so he feigned death, and we're just chilling now. Okay, I'm okay with this. We can summon in some imps, maybe a little bit more imps, and then we're gonna extend Mike and all of the hounds, the Dreadstalkers and Charles the Charhound. Everything's getting extended. We have Disrupting Shout coming through, so we stopped casting. I used my instant casts, maybe even overcapped on soul shards because of it, but it's not a big deal. We're going to death coil this guy. He can't get that far away from us to the point where it would actually pull something else, so I'm not too worried about it. And that's the knight dead. Our arcane mage making probably some wonderful DPS happen there on that priority target. I don't know how much I'm AoEing, to be honest with you, so maybe I was also contributing to the DPS happening to that target. But now we're trying to finish off the straggling here, the sharpshooter that's left. But the DPS is rather high. So that's one thing we've got going for ourselves, which is that the DPS is rather high. I guess I'll finish off this dude. That sounded wrong, but you know what I mean. I'm going to continue DPSing this one until it's dead, because that's a lot of extra damage coming in from the pot shots, or as it were. Tank's trying his best to keep us in combat, which is something I can appreciate for sure. Not all tanks do that. The footman's about to die. This thing's bursting. We're going to go ahead and just switch over to these. We're going to put a focus on one of the conjurers, I guess, and let's get to ramping here. We can get some imps out, we can get Dreadstalkers, and then we can tyrant. Gotta move out of these circles. They will one-shot, so no risks being taken there. We're going to interrupt one of the fireballs just so we're not taking as much damage, and I'm guessing once the light spawn's dead, we will be moving into the Iemia pull, who is now apparently much more difficult. I haven't actually even fought her this season other than in like a shit key, so I like a +2 or whatever. So I'm not 100% certain how this is going to go. We luckily have more mobile group members, or less engaged group members, grabbing the orbs, so that is always nice to have that happen, so I don't have to run around in the middle of my cooldowns and ramping. I'm going to hold the Charhound just for a little bit while building up imps, because what I would like to do is I would like to have all of my pets ready for the tyrant, which I will be sending here. There goes the tyrant. Could have gotten more imps out of it, but I just don't care, man. Getting it to line up perfectly is a little bit difficult for me. I'm not that good at it, but I feel like I'm doing an okay enough job with my DPS as is. Tyrant just ended. We may as well implode. I pressed the wrong keybind because I changed some of my keybinds, which is probably not the smartest idea, but I did try to reprioritize, or to prioritize implosion a little bit more, because I've been getting a lot of comments telling me to use implode more often, and people say Kalamazi says to implode more often, and if Kalamazi says something, it's got to be true, right? I'm going to try and take care of these affixes as best I can here. here. We have dual maul coming in. We're going to, well, I guess use these demon bolts. Unfortunately, didn't get to use my infernal bolt, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and send this demonic tyrant. 8 imps is good enough for me. I didn't want to risk not extending the charhounds or whatever for whatever reason, so I just sent it. Around 4 seconds left. That's about as late as I'm willing to go on the whole charhound extension thing. And now we're gonna send in our imps because our tyrant expired. Part of me genuinely just wants to wait until the boss fight starts so we can pop everything there. Tank wants to pull some more. That's a lot to pull. We're gonna kick dual maul, keep him moving. I guess I'm not holding for the boss anymore. We're just gonna send here. That's a lot of percent. There's not enough we can skip later on, but I guess we're sort of kind of going to make this work. We're gonna stun everything, hopefully kill here during the Ember Storm so that it stops. And I have no kicks available, so I'm just gonna have to kind of watch as these guys absolutely destroy us. I don't want to send Tyrant here. I really want to keep my Tyrant for the boss now. There's just a few mobs here. It just feels so stupid to keep being in fights where there's like, you know, very few mobs or whatever and they're half health. That's when my cooldowns come up. It just feels a little weird, and that's not like a routing issue or anything. I guess you could argue that it's a routing issue, that we keep having stragglers because the pulls are not thought out, but it's whatever. We have Lust available. I would much rather keep it for the next pull upcoming because it's likely going to be a hellish pull, but we have a lot of imps coming through and we can just extend 10 of them. That is beautiful. Battle cry, we're going to kick that. We're going to focus on kicking that. We have Emberlance here, so he has no casts of his own. I'm being munched. I'm going to use a defensive here while I'm being eaten alive. Wonderful. People get that thing off of me immediately. There's not much going on. I'm trying to position close to other existing what are they called, existing zones, so that if I get targeted with a zone drop, I can just drop them off right there and not have any issues. I did not extend a Charhound because I'm a little distracted with the commentary. My bad. But we'll make it work. We'll pop in a Charhound right now. Get him, Charles. I'm just going to join my group over here because if I get pounced now, it's going to be difficult for them to get to me. And I don't want that. I want them to be able to get to me very quickly so that I don't die. And also so that the bosses stay stacked, or rather that the boss stays stacked with his lieutenant, because you can actually cleave here. It's good to cleave. If you have good 2-target, if your 2-target is better than your single target, you 2-target here, because Emberlance transfers all of the damage, or rather the lieutenant transfers all of the damage he takes onto the boss. So there's no downside to AoEing here if your AoE on 2 targets is better than your single target. All of that damage goes straight back to the boss anyway. There we go. We have a Bloodlust ready. Mage opted and the Hunter opted to keep the Bloodlust for the upcoming pulls. I don't know if this is the Bloodlust angle or the next pull. It looks like it's this one because they just popped it. We're going to get some more imps in, and then we're going to Tyrant. There we go. Not a horrible pull, the Bloodlust. These neophytes are very, very painful, and there are 2 paladins to chew through, so you're going to get your value for your lust, but if you pull like one of these big groups, the neophytes have a lot of mobs, but what I mean is difficult groups that last for a long time. Neophytes don't really last all that long. You can kill them pretty quickly, even though they are dangerous for the tank. With our warrior tank, as long as he keeps shield block up, neophytes should not chew through his health all that quickly. Trying to grab these balls, make sure balls touch. Very good. And it looks like we're pulling 1 paladin at a time. Okay, we could at the very least pull 2 of these groups, but I think the tank is just scared that we're not gonna survive if he does that, or maybe he's scared he won't survive if he does that. I wouldn't be able to tell you, but what I do know is that this is not the most efficient thing in the world, but at least the paladin is dying extremely quickly. At the very least, we should pull the next group as soon as the paladin's dead, because yeah, that's what the tank is doing. He wanted that paladin to be dead before he goes into the next group. That makes sense to me ish. I would have still pulled both the groups together. It would have been triple paladin, but still livable. We are looking for kicks here on the priest as best we can. I'll see a kick opportunity coming up right now, and I'll use my kick to interrupt that holy smite. Now the mage isn't in his double cooldowns here, but he's still popping off. I guess on 4 targets, maybe I should implode. Oh, we have these guys coming over. I wasn't ready for that. We're gonna death coil the priest here. It's gonna move it away, but we're gonna kill it before it does any more damage. I'm gonna use my shield. There's paladins casting their thing. I'm gonna try and collect this. The 2 ranged are over there taking care of each other's absorbs or whatever, or orbs I should say. I'm going to use a health stone, try to keep myself alive here. We really need to finish that paladin before he gets that. Okay, perfect. Yes, we need to finish that paladin before he gets his thingy with the stuff off, the toll off. We have another group coming in. We're going to go ahead and use our tyrant now. I interrupted that heal. We lost our mage. The mage somehow probably ripped aggro, I would assume is what happened there. We have a couple of paladins here that are low HP. We really want to finish those off. Very messy, very disjointed pulls, but it's sort of working out. We're sort of limping our way through this dungeon. I feel like the route definitely wasn't planned out ahead of time, and I kind of understand. I did see that the tank finished other runs on +10, and that's why I invited them, so I was kind of hoping for better there, but what can you do? There's only so much you can do when you're forming a group. I feel like clears don't mean anything anymore. Rating doesn't mean anything anymore. Like literally nothing can tell you whether a player is going to be good or not. I've seen people with great clears do horrible. I've seen people with horrible clears do wonderful. I don't know anymore what it all means. I should probably just uninstall Raider RIO and leave it at that. All right, building up some imps. Then we're going to send Charles the Charhound. We're going to send our Dreadstalkers, Mike, one more set of imps, and then we're going to send in the Tyrant. That's going to have to do. It's not perfect, but dang nabbit, we'll get the job done. I can do one soak here as I have quite a bit of health, and I can use my shield thing to mitigate a good chunk of the damage it does to me. So I feel like I'm a good candidate here. I'm pretty beefy. As long as I do actually get healed, I'm going to use a health stone. Why not? I am now out of health stones, so I'm going to almost die to the hammers while trying to put down health stone. Okay, buddy, what the heck is going on? Let me put this down here. If somebody needs them, they can get them now. Get them while they're hot. Okay, I'm being targeted by the shield. We're going to move away, and let's actually start doing some proper damage here. I feel like I've just been running around like a silly goose. Tank can grab the last one. Looks like everyone except for me grabbed one. Where did it go then? It's supposed to be 5 soaks. I don't know. Doesn't really matter to me. We're going to now I almost used my tyrant without Charles up, which would have been a mistake. We have a soul stone that we can cast. We're gonna go ahead and cast it. Never mind. We're having a rough time here. I need to shut up for a second. Just focus up. Last set of imps into tyrant. Let's do this. I think we kill here. I think we stay on boss. We don't soak anymore. That's my take on it. It looks like we do want to soak. I guess I'll soak the last one, and then just we don't have to worry about it anymore. People are just going to DPS, and we're going to get the job done. Not the cleanest boss fight here. I really don't understand why I'm dying. The healer has mana. He's just not healing people with the dot. It's a UI issue or whatever. We can release. We'll spawn here. Mage is probably just frustrated with it, or healer. I don't know. So they're sitting there contemplating life. I'm going to send everything in that I can, and then Tyrant, and that should be good. I feel like I'm doing pretty solid here. Using a defensive because the tolls are going to start coming out, and those hurt. There's the second toll. As you can see, I'm dipping pretty low. Doesn't feel like my health is really improving afterwards. So if there was a cast that would have gone off, that would have been tragic. I interrupted something. I'm not even sure what anymore, but we get through another group. 11 minutes remaining. I'm starting to feel a little bit more optimistic about this. We are not wiping, which is the big thing, is like we're not resetting any of the damage we've done to the mobs. So that's kind of nice. I'm going to go ahead and use this. People want us to stand over here, or rather the tank wants us to stand over here. Hopefully he... Okay, heroic throw pull, and then heroic throw, and hopefully that was a misdirect. It does look like it was a misdirect. We're going to stare, and I mean stare at the mage for when it does its volley. We're going to interrupt the volley. Once the volley is interrupted, I don't care what happens. We're going to demonic tyrant here. Volley goes out because somebody CC'd it when we were trying to interrupt it. Love that for us. That really, healer probably loves that for us even more. We're going to go ahead and Dreadstalker here into a Charhound, into a Implode, which I would love to do if my keyboard did what I told it to do. There we go. I can't even explain what happened with my keyboard. I pressed a combination of buttons that does something that I didn't expect it to do. Okay, there we go. We don't want to double pull that. Okay, we're playing the safe route. That makes sense to me. We haven't been doing all that well, it feels like. I don't know. When there's a bunch of casters, we're going to interrupt that this time, hopefully. Yep, it didn't get CC'd, so we just get to interrupt it. Hunter didn't have feigned death, it seems, for the beam, or didn't recognize that the beam was going on until it was a little bit too late. But we have a tyrant here that we can use. It's an okay tyrant. 6, 7 imps, whatever. That works. I measured the success of tyrants by whether or not they've extended the Charhound and how many imps were in the extension. Okay, the footmen are here. The patrol is exactly where we want it. We should pull the patrol like right now so we don't have to stare here at the mobs as they walk past and then wait for them to come back. Okay, I'm gonna try and kick Star Mage here. That's my job, is to kick Star Mage. Hopefully I'm able to do so. I've focused Star Mage, so I believe I will be able to. There we go. We kicked the Star Mage. The other one, if it goes through, not my freaking problem, man. I kicked one. That's my job done. Purification on the mage. Mage has many defensives able to be used for that. It's not an issue for them. They should be able to survive that. The footman's the last one remaining. We should go straight into the mini boss here. I'm going to immediately just send everything, including our tyrant, because we have a lot of imps left over from the previous pull. That's wonderful. We're going to put focus on circle mage, or circle priest, I should say, and just go ham. No bad time to use a defensive on this fight because you're constantly taking damage. I did get smited there, so double value from that. Our implosion goes out. People are kicking or CCing. I can't tell. I'm going to interrupt the smite now because I don't think the priest will live long enough to get another heal cast off. Brown Pike just getting absolutely roasted. We're going to go ahead and use our other defensive now just to keep ourselves a little bit healthier there. Just a little bit healthier. Timer's looking okay. We get percent with this, so we definitely overpulled in the courtyard. But hey, courtyards are for overpulling apparently, because that's what we did in the Halls of Atonement as well. But this one, I have a feeling we're going to time. Now, if I'm wrong, well, you know, I don't know what to say anymore. I really hope this is my first timed plus 10 key. It started off rough, but the DPS was here, and we were able to clutch it out, as it were. I don't want to send my tyrant here. I'm going to wait for a big burn on the boss. I think that's the right call because these mobs are just absolutely getting wrecked by just what we have right now. Just what we have right now. I'm going to send more imps in. 8 imps at a time, just going straight into these. Couple of hands of Gul'dan into implosion. That's right. That's what I've been told to do. My software has updated. We now have new instructions, guys. we use imps on AoE. Just need to actually set up my WeakAuras for it. I feel like that might be a good idea for me to do. We're waiting for mana, 19%. Healers drinking. We could start the pull right now if we wanted to. We have time. 6 minutes 21 is enough. We just can't mess around too much. Now, it took me a second there and a couple of attempts and jumps, but we have a way to get upstairs very, very quickly here. We're going to send our tyrant. We're going to turn around for that. Use a power siphon while we're turned around because we can't cast anything else. We could have started a cast, turned around, and then finished it by turning back around. It would have worked. It's fancy, but it's not necessary. You could just do this. One global is not going to make the diff. Many interrupts going into the boss. I keep accidentally tiptoeing my way into the bad no-no zone here. But the boss is just about ready to go upstairs, I would say. I'm going to ping this CR very, very quickly. Very quick CR. There you go. Mage can take this. We can go upstairs, and we have Tyrant ready. Not many imps, but Tyrant ready. We're going to send Tyrant now. We want to burn through this as best as we can. Bloodlust just went out. Go ahead. Come on now. Neophytes are coming down. We're going to drop a stun on the Neophytes. Never mind. There's a yoink back on the Neophytes as well. We're going to death coil this guy because he got a bit too close for my liking. And those are taken care of. Very nice combination of Druid yoink back and a Hunter binding shot. Love that. That worked out wonderfully. Most of them came from the same side, so it really, really worked out well. The boss is just about dead. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Come on now. There's really nothing left that should be able to wipe us here. Come on. Binding Light, summon in the Demonic Tyrant while we're turned around because we can do that. And that is a plus 10 timed. Finally, a plus 10 key has been timed. We have an 11 key, Ecodome Aldani. I might just drop that to a 10 or it might just do it at an 11 just so I can actually, you know, when it bricks, go do a 10. Thank you for the run. And I'm going to hit them with the shield message as well. And Mage is not casting a portal. I don't care. We're going to just Hearthstone. That was lovely. I didn't expect to time this. But we did, and I'm very, very happy because, man, if I had bricked another plus 10 key, I don't know how I would have felt about this character. I think I may have even mentioned it during the yappage that I was ready to quit. I was ready to quit. Now, let's look at the laughable amount of implosion damage that I did. Yes, I cast it 9 times. That is exactly horrible. I need to fix that. I really need to improve that to get my AoE up. I should be doing more damage in these overalls just with that. That's something I need to practice, and also something I need to fix on my WeakAuras. I used to not have implosion at all because I believed it to be less important than it was because of not being misinformed, but just having outdated information, I think, that I was working with. And also, I had the Fellstorm, which is now an auto cast. I could not be bothered anymore to figure, like, I wasn't using it on cooldown, and most of the time when I used it, I wasn't even sure that it was being optimally used. So just like, I'll put it on autocast and not think about it anymore. I feel like that's perfectly fair. Most of the time, Steve is going to be in the middle of them and just going ham. That being said, I did keep up with an arcane mage that's 704. You could say keep up. They have 500,000 DPS more than me, but I feel like I did okay. I only have 2 set. I'm cursed with loot, and I'm pretty bad at the spec, so I think I did okay. But friends, we did it. We finally timed a +10, and I think with that, we are pretty much done with this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. Make sure you subscribe because there's more episodes coming. Get up here with me, Steve. There you go. Include the word pilot in your comment because I have a pen in my hand that has the word pilot on it, so yeah. That way I know you made it to this part of the video, and if I see pilot in your comment, I'm gonna heart it. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Isn't that right, Steve? That's right, boss.